No keyboard, no mouse, just touchscreen controls, I beat Cities Skylines 2 on a phone. I have 3 goals: reach 500,000 population, reach the highest milestone Megalopolis, and make 10 million a month in profits. The first thing to figure out are actually the controls. The joysticks are pretty clear, and then there are controller-like controls just on a touchscreen. I can zoom in with LT and RT, and I have to click a lot of these buttons to navigate around and find the right things. Let's start with streets. It may look easy, but it is actually a huge pain to control. But anyway, let's get the city started the normal way. Zone some residential, a bit of commercial, and then some industry. Just like that, people are moving in. Now we need services, electricity, water, and also sewage. And just like that, we've hit the first milestone, as well as 100 population. So our city is growing. In the same way, I've also managed to hit milestone 2, milestone 3 and 4. By now, we have a small wind park, basic services, and even a small elementary school. But by then I realized that building streets and especially managing traffic is a huge pain with these controls. If I want to reach 500,000 in population, I cannot continue building like this. So I need a way to get rid of cars, but even with pedestrian streets, cars will still drive through here. So I bought a new tile to start an experiment. What if I only use pedestrian roads? And what if I only build grids? These are easy to build after all. And then a tornado that center hit my city. As if I'm not struggling enough yet. But that is not to deter our plan. I built a rail yard as well as a train station. Then I created a train line to run all the way to the outside. And then I zoned a bunch more in this new pedestrian area. This led to a bunch more people moving in, but instead of using cars, they were walking. So no more traffic for me to manage. With this strategy working well, I removed the old entrance to the city and connected up the pedestrian with the old city. This way service vehicles from the old town could now also serve the pedestrian side. And the great thing, our city is already widely profitable. Sure, we don't have trash collection yet and many services are still missing, but we're currently making about 400,000 a month. Still far away from our goal, but profitable is a good start. And just like that, after about 1 hour of playing, I hit milestone 6, as well as 10,000 population. With this pedestrian area, we have a lot of space for housing, but no space for industry, and there was really demand for it. We need this for sure to keep our city growing. So I bought 10 tiles at the edge of the map, and then I built a giant grid exclusively for industry. Of course, it had to be connected up with a train station, and due to it not being connected with the other city, it required its own services. Also, I had no real place to put the sewage, so I just dug a giant hole. Let's hope I reach all my milestones before it overflows. Back in the city, things were not going too well. People were unhappy, especially about bad mail services and a lack of entertainment. So I gave them mail, as well as a few parks here and there. And to speed up people moving in, I reduced residential taxes to 0. With that, we were still profitable, and the large influx of people should definitely help us to expand on that. These changes led to milestone 7, as well as people moving in faster than ever. With our new services and parks, people were getting happier, and I also placed down some of the special buildings. Now our city is really growing fast. Look at all these people, and one train is coming after the next. That's amazing. Just like that, it turned winter, and over in the industry area there was a massive shortage of electricity. So I resorted to importing electricity from the outside. By the end of winter I hit 30,000 population, but profitability was still only at 500,000, and I was somewhat running out of space. So I rezoned some of the low density with the newly unlocked high density buildings, just to get more people in. I had problems with trash collection, so I unlocked the incarceration plant, took a loan, demolished the old landfill, and instead built a shiny new incarceration plant. The benefit of which is that it also produces electricity that we can use and sell. To increase the density, I then also rezoned some of the lower density commercial to high density commercial, just to use the limited space we have more efficiently. With these changes I unlocked milestone 10, the last milestone that unlocks any new zoning, and we were closing in on 50,000 population. Profits were up to 1 million a month, so we still need to 10x our population and 10x our profits. For our next major expansion, we will need way more space and also way more money. So for now, I just kept increasing the density. And then I took a short break for our stockpile of money to grow. Just through waiting, I've acquired 2 million, which we will now put to use in a major expansion since we're still far away from our milestones. I am buying a bunch of new tiles, terraforming them, then building out more giant grids, a massive train station in the center, a bunch of infrastructure and a bunch of zoning. Let's see if we can even hit 500,000 with just this grid. We're currently at 80,000. Again, there are tons of people arriving at our new main train station. Look at this building. It just has one outside connection, nothing more. But we also for sure need a ton of services, healthcare and so on. I am just spamming down a lot of these with the additional processing speed upgrade. And I'm even going to unlock the hospital, make some space for it, take a loan for it, and throw it right here in the middle. And I'm even going to give it the helicopter pad upgrade. That way our citizens should hopefully be somewhat healthy. We continue to have a ton of commercial demand, but with this much space we can just fulfill everything the game throws at us. I'm even adding a second route that just goes to the outside to import more people. Our city is really popular, and just like that we hit 100,000 in population, as well as a profit of 4 million a month. We're really coming closer to our goals. Education in our city is still horrendous. Let's provide some of that. 2 elementary schools next to each other with all the possible upgrades, then a high school, and then let's even unlock college, university, and the technical university. We can only afford a college so far. Let's throw it in right here and also zone more housing space around it. We're now hitting milestones one after the other. It's going really fast and we always have a lot of commercial demand, so let's zone another full row of it, even on the other side of the grid. And let's always check in on the train station. Tons of people are always flooding in. I mean, look at this. Imagine a train station in reality that would just be this many people and they're all going left. No one wants to go right. Oh, and we have multiple buildings burning. I don't have many fire stations in the city yet, but apparently it got extinguished by the one we have. So that's good. Now what can we do next? People for sure want internet. Let's give them a tower. That should help things out. And then let's unlock some parks and maybe even tourist attractions. Why not? Let's make use of these parks. Throw in a football field. It fits the square exactly. That's nice. Let's already get in another one all the way over here, just for later. We'll probably need that space as well. And by now our city is growing and growing. I feel like not as fast as before. Let's check out the city statistics for that. No, we're still growing rapid fast, basically exponential. That's nice. There's some people complaining about noise. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. I'm not gonna go here in the details and fix stuff. For that, the controls aren't good enough, but we already have more demand for commercial. So let's also zone more commercial. Everything on this side of the grid is already zoned. We're really filling up this space fast, and yet people are complaining about workers. Good thing there is a lot of space zoned for skyscrapers. While this city is growing apparently with no problems, let's check in on the old town, which is all the way over there. They here have some small healthcare problems, but apart from that, it's working great. And the large industry area over here, they have problems with trash collection. Let's give them an incarceration plant as well. And that should also provide some electricity. So these two areas are perfectly happy. We can just let things run here. So we only need to focus on our mega grid, which is still growing fast, but not too much to do here. Things are just zoning in and we need to wait for people to arrive. So let's just wait and see if anything happens. We are now at 150,000 in population. And we're even making 10 million a month, so we have reached the first of our 3 goals. And while looking at our money, I realized we're spending 2 to 3 million a month importing electricity. So why not build our own nuclear power plant? Let's throw it down right here. It needs a lot of water, which I have prepared here. also there, but it's still not enough. So let's just add more until the complaints go down. Also, it's complaining about sewage. We're just dumping our sewage down the hill here anyway. And somehow back there it's turning into clean water. So let's add more sewage stations along the way here. They can all dump sewage down the hill. It's really hard to connect these lines up with this touch controls. Just like that, people should be happy again with sewage. I think we lost a lot of people because of that. But looking at electricity, we're now producing more than we need. And we're basically breaking even with electricity now, so no longer importing for crazy fees. Next, it's finally time to build a university. It really needs a lot of space. Let's put it up here. That also unlocks more special buildings. Let's check it out if people are actually using it. Yeah, so the first people are starting to get enrolled, but also the university benefits our industry efficiency as well as office efficiency. To speed up our city growth, I've also added a second train line for more people to come in. And we still see there's so many people walking. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. I've added a second hospital with a helipad just to fulfill all that health demand. And then I've also just filled up the entire square with zoning. Now it is really just a waiting game. We hit milestone 15 so far, Metropolis. Our profits are continuing to go up. We're already at 13 million. It's just that the speed in which people are moving in is somewhat limited. And especially now, if you take a look at the time, it's ticking down very, very slowly just because of the way Cities Skylines is programmed. I'll quickly try. Maybe I can run the game faster if I turn down the graphic settings from high to very low. I feel like yes, it makes the game run faster. I'll just wait for another while and see what happens. We have reached a population of 200,000. But it's so painfully slow. The thing is, it's not slow because people don't want to move in. More people than ever want to move in and we're growing faster than ever. But because of the game, it's just running so slow. It would probably take multiple more hours to reach 500,000. But since we're making so much money, there is a way we can actually hit Megalopolis. For every building you build, you actually get XP. And then you can just go ahead and delete these buildings again. Yes, this costs a ton of money, but it gives you a bunch of XP. So I am just now going to continue this until we hit milestone Megalopolis. As context, that's still 200,000 XP. One of these power plants gives 2,000 XP. So it's another 100 power plants. And I also need to earn about 100 million to actually build this. But lucky for you, I can just cut. And here we have it, Megalopolis. I have never actually even hit this on PC. So I just got the achievement. Yes, you can beat Cities Skylines 2 on a phone. But before you try it, I have to tell you it is incredibly painful. This already took me way longer than expected. So maybe if you could subscribe, that would be well appreciated. And lastly, here are my 3 favorite parts of the city. Number 1, the water supply. Just some very few water towers to fuel the thirst of my city and this nuclear power plant. Number 2, this tower right here in the middle. Number 3, this ever busy train station. And number 4, the sewage system. We have achieved all the milestones from the beginning, apart from the population one. We're only still at half of that, but to make up for it, we're up to 32 million in profit a month. So that's triple the milestone. I think that makes up for it. Let me know any other crazy ideas you have that one could try. And with that, happy gaming.